Half of you beanbags aren't going to listen to the advice I'm about to give you, but I know some of you actually will, so listen up. Most of you are the reason why OnlyFans girls are where they are in the world currently. It's not just the guy who's spending $500 a month for whatever reason, it's also you guys. You like their posts, you comment on their videos, you complain about them, you send them to your friends. You're doing all of these things. Congratulations. You've just boosted them on the algorithm and now they're everywhere, and you still complain about degeneracy. You gave these people exactly what they wanted, attention, and that attention is often turned into currency. There's nothing wrong with doing that, there's nothing wrong with the concept of that, but when it's degeneracy being pushed, then I'm sure we can all stand in agreement that we're not in support of that. But evidently we are, because we keep on watching these kinds of people, whether it's through our favorite streamers, whether it's through TikTok or Twitter algorithms, they're always there. I was doom scrolling for about 20 minutes, and typically I don't. I've been trying to train the habit out of myself. Clearly I need to train harder, but I was doom scrolling, right? And I saw this guy, and he said that he spent $7 on some OnlyFans girl's account, and everybody in the comments was flaming him. They were saying, how could you do that? Why would you do that? I would never do that. And we know the comments are often lying. About 40% of those guys have probably spent money on an OnlyFans girl, and about 60% of them have probably searched up OnlyFans leaks or tried to see these girls naked online. And everybody in the comments was laughing at him, and I didn't really laugh at him because I understood the issue. I understand the issue. I understand how dire the situation is, right? Today it's $7, then maybe it's $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. Next thing you know, you're probably going bankrupt. There's no end to the chain of degeneracy. It just seems like it's a bottomless hole that you keep on falling down, and we as a collective need to work to combat it, because quite frankly there's too many people who are falling down this hole. There's far too many, and it's typically younger men. And I know it's very easy to look down on that guy like those other people did. They all laughed at him. But he isn't the main issue. That is a symptom of the bigger problem. Just because he spent $7 does not mean that he's inferior to you. It does not mean that you're better than him. You're still feeding these girls attention. You're still farming their attention. You're still keeping the machine going. You are the product, always. And a lot of streamers platform these girls. They love bringing these girls on because they know what gets clicks. They know what gets you guys going. These guys don't care about you. They don't care about the fact that you may go down the path of degeneracy. They're just trying to satisfy their own personal needs and their own goals and ambitions. After all, in the eyes of many of these people, it's every man for themselves. Young men are watching, and these guys will tell you that it's just content while showing you a bunch of girls on camera, maybe doing freaky things that you've never seen in person, twerking all over the place. You're hyper stimulated. They'll tell you that it's just content, but they're working towards their own incentives just to boost the algorithm. It's whatever works for them, not you. Your attention pays the bills, and that's the business. These people, they don't really care that the degeneracy that they're displaying may be affecting your life, because it doesn't affect them. If anything, it furthers their careers, it betters their lifestyle. And this is what I was talking about previously. A lot of these content creators operate with a mindset of every man for themselves. And I've been victim to the cycle of the OnlyFans model. You go onto Instagram, you may look at one or two models' profiles. You go from profile to profile, then you go onto Twitter, scroll for a bit. It's normal content, you're watching clips. Then you see a few OnlyFans girls. Then you get curious. Then from Twitter you go to adult content, and then from adult content you end up relapsing. And that's the whole OnlyFans model. That's the system that we have created. And then you're back to square one, wondering why you can't focus on anything. The fact remains, you helped yourself get into this funnel. It was all you. You helped yourself to become addicted to adult content. You helped yourself to become addicted to watching these clips over and over again, not doing anything productive. You helped build the OnlyFans creator economy. This was all you. And I think the first step to, of course, bettering yourself is to accept that accountability, because you created your algorithm. Nobody else did that part for you. And despite me saying all of this, a lot of you beanbags who are watching this video are not going to take this advice on board. You're going to treat this advice lightly. I've been through this. I know what I'm talking about. I've gotten out of the trap of the OnlyFans model. Believe me when I say willpower alone is not going to help you. In this case scenario, it won't. There's been so many men in the Bible who thought that they could willpower their way through lust. Solomon being the biggest example, and that guy flopped. Flopped completely. And there's been so many examples in the real world too. So many lustful men. It's always their downfall, lust. It will always be our biggest downfall. The best way that you can combat this addiction, the best way that you can get out of this OnlyFans trap is to change your environment. First things first, delete Twitter, because we all know that that is the main cause of your relapses. Delete Twitter, clear everything, retrain your algorithm. Do the exact same thing for Instagram, TikTok, or any other kind of social media platform that you may use. I think people underestimate how great these apps are at tracking. For example, I was looking at a Joe Rogan podcast on YouTube, or listening to a Joe Rogan podcast, I should say, and I went onto TikTok and searched up the first two letters of Joe Rogan's name, and somehow TikTok knew exactly who I was talking about. So these apps very much are spying on you. They're tracking your activity through other websites and apps, and they're also listening to every single thing that you say. So please don't take that lightly. Follow through on this advice. Show follow through on this advice. Delete your apps and retrain your algorithm. I think that the second thing is even simpler. Go and touch grass. Who would have thought, hey? Go for a walk, go to the gym, go to a cafe and spend time around real people. I don't really think that you can think about OnlyFans girls or even indulging in adult content when you're around other people or when you're at a cafe. I mean, unless you're all the way gone. Let me not say that because I don't want to discourage some of you guys, but yeah, in fact, unless you're all the way gone, I'm not going to lie, I don't think the thought is even going to cross your mind. So, for the most part, I think all of you are capable of doing this, and everyone treats this advice as if it was some kind of extra complicated thing. I sometimes think that the simple advice can be overcomplicated. However, simple advice is the best advice, and this is advice that I know to work because I have personally benefited from me leaving the environment where I feel the most comfortable, which is my bedroom, of course. This is where I was, the space where I was relapsing the most, and I think to get out of that environment is great. You will always be the product of your environment, so this is something that you need to take very, very seriously. There's no two ways about it. If your environment is literally just four walls and a phone screen, don't be surprised when that environment becomes your entire world. I'm being serious. I've relived this trauma so many times, and I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. So to those of you who aren't beanbags, and to those of you who are going to freaking listen, please take this advice on board, okay? Your attention is finite. You can only put it in so many places. And when I finally started making changes, I realized that I wasn't just quitting adult content, but I was changing my direction. Stop liking these Instagram girls' photos. Just stop doing it. For the sake of you, stop doing it. Stop salivating over women that you don't know. Because like I said, wherever your attention goes, your life follows. Each and every single time you indulge in these pieces of content, you're voting. You are voting for the direction you want your life to go in. So please, you owe it to yourself to listen to what I've told you in this video. You owe it to yourself, nobody else. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share it to a friend and family member who you think may need to see and hear this video. And if you guys want to join a community full of like-minded men on the path of self-development, I'll leave a link down below in the description, as well as the comment section. It's full of people who have overcome adversity on topics like this and people who are struggling with topics like this. So if you guys want to be a part of that, I'd love to have absolutely all of you in there. But if you did enjoy the video, once again, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care and God bless.